I get to live life for me. I'm just done putting up with people who I don't need in my life. So I don't allow people into my life who are not going to be kind and they're not going to be good. I only allow good people in my life. I only allow people in my life that are good to my kids. I don't mind not letting everybody in. I don't care. I have an amazing group of girlfriends.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Thursday, August 25th. Yesterday I did a video about Christine Brown and her denouncing of polygamy, which I thought was amazing, you guys. I was like, yes, Christine is gone. The woman who was the granddaughter of the prophet of the AUB has left. I mean, that's pretty big. I did this post today where I was thinking about what an amazing moment this is, because she represents a very big space in the polygamy world. Her grandfather, Rulon, was the prophet of the AUB. Then her great uncle, Owen, took over. And she is like bloodline to the top. Her dad is Rulon's son, okay? So Christine leaving is a really big moment. And, you know, when you see this and you're like, we're so excited. And then I think of all the women that are still in this world that could potentially be positively impacted, seeing Christine being able to leave and to take the next step and to see her come out on the other side in a way where she's still so positive and uplifting and able to do something. It's really hard to leave a situation and to leave a life that you've only known your whole life.
I just feel like my whole paradigm, my whole world has changed. I'm just happier than I've ever been. And I don't know if that has to do with being 50 or just everything.
Life.
I think
49 years of her life. She grew up this way. She lived this way. Her whole life was polygamy. So when she says it's not for me, it's not just, it's not for me. It's not for me. It's disconnecting and disassociating. And she did this article. Actually, people's been doing sort of like spreads of, you know, a little bit here and a little bit there and little clips of her speaking on different topics. And in one of the videos yesterday, she was talking about how she really has begun cutting out people of her life, out of her life that really aren't there for her and that aren't good to her kids and aren't like good for her. And that she has a really good support network now with a good set of girlfriends. And I kept thinking, like, I wonder who her friends are today. Not that she needs to tell me. By no means does she need to tell the public like who her friends are. That's none of our business. But, you know, she does all this stuff with Janelle. And I just wonder, like, how does this influence Janelle? How does Janelle see Christine coming out on the other side of this and not see that there's a possibility now without being with Kody? And now it makes sense to me about how Mary has been so distant and seemingly angry at Christine. I have a sense that Mary has a resentment towards her for leaving, and I think that's likely planted by Kody, because Kody doesn't believe she should have left. He didn't want her to leave, you guys. You know, she was talking about how she was leaving in one of these videos, and she was talking about how it was like just short little steps that she took to leave the chains of this world. And, you know, the first decision was, okay, I don't want him to be in my bedroom anymore. The next was boxing up his belongings, which is what we saw on the show last, year. You know, the next is they have a house. So, you know, we talked about how he ends up signing over the house to her last fall, I believe it was. And then she moved, right? And in her like interview, she's talking about how, you know, she didn't know what she was even going to do when she got in that car.
And I thought for a while I was making selfish decisions. You know, I was like, is this selfish? Is this something? But then I was like, no, this is exactly.
You know, we take for granted for us, how easy it is for us to deal with this world, how easy it is for us to transition into things and move and change. Think of being Christine. She's leaving a whole belief system behind, and she's out here in the real world now, realizing she's not going to go down to the depths of the sea for leaving Kody. Because one of the things that they do is they make them believe that they're going to go to hell, right? So now she's like, wait a minute, I survived this. And she was talking about how she was exhilarated when she got into the car to leave. Scared because she had no idea where she was going and what was going to happen. She said this, I get to live my life for me. My whole world has changed, and every single cell in my body is happier. For years, she was told that having feelings of her own was selfish. And she even mentioned that, like, I sometimes still question if I'm being selfish because they're taught that everything that they want is selfish.
This is exactly what you should do. You should be in charge of your life and not leave it up to who knows what. You listen to your heart, you know where you need to be.
And she said, in 2018, she said, I started thinking maybe this isn't working for me. And then I stopped believing in polygamy and I realized I didn't want to live it anymore. I didn't like sharing a husband. And she said she packed up and moved to Salt Lake City to start a new life. And she said, we got here. And that night when I went to bed, I realized I was home. And I was just like, that. And I got to start over again. And it was exciting. And it was new. And it was so scary because I had no idea what to expect. But I was so excited. I remember feeling hope for the first time in a long time when I got to take my life by my own and go. It was wonderful. Hope for the first time in her life to be who she wanted to be and to make decisions for herself at 49 years old. You know, when I talked to her aunt, Kristen Decker, she once told me that she just wanted the women to experience what she did. That freedom that you get when you finally leave. When you know that you don't have to make decisions for everyone else and that you're not going to feel guilt and shame for doing something for yourself, and you're not going to be manipulated to stay in a situation that you don't want to be in and convinced that you have to do it or else you're going to go to hell, you know? So imagine Christine, who we all take for granted, is on television and she's in her bed for the very first time and she's like, oh my God, I can make decisions for myself. Can you imagine how empowering that must be?
Like in my soul, I feel so light and easy and powerful. I didn't know how to be powerful. Oh my gosh, I love life. I absolutely love it.
She said that right now, because of the situation that she's in, she's so excited about her life that she just wants to try things, new things constantly. She wants to go on adventures and see things and taste things and do things that she never could have done before. And she said that Truly is her sidekick. She said, I can't tell you how many times I've opened up Truly's door and been like, what should we do for fun today? And just go pick a destination and we go and we just have fun and we go and explore. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. And now that I live here, there's so many things to do and I just want to do it. Before, she couldn't do anything without having to consult everyone. You know, her even deciding to go to the surgery and plan a surgery, you know, he made her feel guilty for that. He didn't even want her to get the surgery because of COVID for Isabel. Now, if she has something that her kids need, she doesn't have to think about what everyone else wants and how that fits into Kody's narrative and how that fits into Kody's agenda. Now she can just decide for Truly, what do you want to do? What is going to make us happy today? It's truly mind inspiring. I kind of think of it like the Plaths, right? So the Plath kids got out of their high control environment, right? And they didn't know how to exist and like deal with the world. The best part for me about Christine is that she at least had exposure to the real world through the show. So a lot of this probably isn't as foreign as it could have been. And she also has kids that are out, so she doesn't have a lack of support. She has family that's no longer in polygamy, so she can still be connected to them. She has friends that are probably from polygamy that have left that she can be connected with. And part of me hopes that she is working with or has reached out to others that have left polygamy so that she can sort of deconstruct herself. You know, she'll put on a really brave face and say that everything is great, but I know it can't be easy. And so I always just want to tell everyone, like, it's never wrong to just send her encouragement and love. Maybe you don't agree with everything that she does. Maybe you don't agree with everything that she says. But someone that's leaving and deconstructing needs so much love and so much support. And to see her happy and to like see her realize I can do this is amazing. Those women have been made to believe that they need to rely on him for everything. And they don't. And they didn't. And she didn't need Kody. She could do this by herself. And it's amazing. She even said that I just want to be an example for my kids and to my kids about anything. I always told them, do what's going to make you happy, and I have to do the same. So if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk, right? So she has hope for the first time after leaving polygamy and the control of polygamy. That is so incredible. I'm so, so happy for Christine. It makes me feel like there's a hope for others that are trapped in this world that might see her and be inspired to leave. And for those of you that, you know, come here and get angry at me and say like, well, you don't understand polygamy. I understand high control. I understand that it's a high control spiritual cult. I understand that leaving is not easy. And I also understand that the marriages in this case are not based on love. A lot of times they're based on doctrine that they have to have X amount of wives, and wives are not treated the way that you and I would be treated. Like someone in my comments yesterday said, well, Kody, you just don't understand, because a woman that goes into polygamy understands that she's not going to be a priority because it's, you know, X amount of women. So you recognize that. But I'm going to say what Kristen Decker has always told me. There's no such thing as consent when it's coerced. So if a woman believes that she has to marry you to get to heaven, that's coercion. If a woman believes that she has to be a sister wife and it's her duty for God, and it's because of a doctrine that's been set up by a group of men that have told you that this is what you have to do, that's coercion. If a woman is willingly doing it and it's not because of that, it's totally different. It's not coercion if you actively pick a situation and it doesn't tie to your eternal destiny. But when somebody uses and holds your eternal life hostage and your soul hostage like that, it's not consent. And for Christine, she's finally realizing, like, I deserve better, and that's inspiring. So Christine has hope for the first time, and I'm here for it. Adjust that crown, Queen. You got this. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.